slightly for less Muta versus Muta and more Hydra Infestor style play. So we'll be seeing what these players decide to go to
Yeah,
for this matchup.
I never understood why Muta versus Muta fell out just because of the Spore Crawl. I mean, yes, you can't really hover over your
That
opponent's
Spore
drone, but
Crawler buff was, well, let's put it this way. Spore Crawlers went from, I believe it was 6 or 7 shotting a Muta to having basically double damage against Mutas
yeah,
now. They can 3-shot a Muta, which just makes it too much damage until you get up to that high Muta count where you can 1 or 2-shot your Mutalisks.
right, right. But anyway, as we kick it off here on Belshir Vestige, I promise I'll do it right this time. In the top left corner of Belshir Vestige, the purple Zerg.
Stumbling slightly.
Taking his team up 1-0 after a vicious PVZ. Oh, crash and burn.
Crash
ROH,
burn.
Blord.
It looks like Herb is a fan of Greek.
What is that, Omega?
I believe so.
Omega, nice. Very, very nice. And down here in the bottom right, giving us a cultural lesson on ancient Greek symbols, the Red Zerg looking to pull Infinity Gaming back to 1-1. Herbmon!
So it looks like B-Lord, I'm not sure if he's talking about his sadistics class or his statistics class.
I've never seen anything like that.
Maybe he just likes watching players in pain after losing, and that's what made him take up StarCraft.
Isn't that the symbol they use on calculators or Excel worksheets for like auto sum and whatnot?
It might be. I'm not sure though.
All right. Well, we've got a few minutes while these spawning pools literally finish 1 second within each other. Herbmon's just a slight faster.
Yep, just a very, very little bit. Both players sending down their drone to that hatch right now as well.
Somehow Herbmon has 2 more drones and... Huh.
That entire second on the spawning tool makes all the difference, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, this is such a razor-thin matchup sometimes. It's amazing, and yet it's infuriating.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like B-Lord is gonna have a bit later of a gas, if any gas. We may be seeing a gasless opening out of him for this game.
Isn't that kind of... Well, okay, let me phrase it. Isn't that very dangerous, especially in ZVZ now?
Well, actually, the gasless opening, what a Zerg player will do is get a spine crawler or 2, and then some extra queens. And with that, it is so hard for Baneling to do the damage that they need to once Banelings are out for the player going the gasless opening. It's actually one of the safest builds you can do. And if Herbmon scouts that, the proper response would be to just simply play it as greedy as he can, because without Zergling speed, there's nothing that B-Lord can do early game.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just defensive. I mean, I'm not
It's a
used
very
to
defensive
seeing
build.
defensive ZVZ. It's weird.
Oh yes,
Somebody-
just a little bit.
Either somebody goes way offensive, drop down the Banelings. I mean, I made 180-something Banelings in a PVZ the other day. That was awesome,
Oh.
by the way.
Banelings are a fun unit. I always like Baneling drops or Baneling mines.
Oh,
Those are always
Mines.
fun.
Baneling Mines OP. Better than Widow Mines. Because you can control
I
them.
don't know about that. Baneling mines die when they blow up.
Yeah, but Widow Mines kill your units when they blow up. At least in my experience. And here we go. Baneling Nest from Herbmon. Now, is it Herbmon or Herbmon?
It's whatever. I'm just gonna call him Herb. So Herb doing very, very standard timing. His speed very standard, and his Baneling Nest very, very standard. B-Lord is starting now his 2 gases and that spine crawler. Like I said, he would. He has those 2 queens and a spine crawler at his natural. That's the standard for this opening. Roachworm going down slightly earlier than what is standard. I'm kind of wondering what he plans on doing with that. If he plans on doing a roach attack, or if he's just going to get 1 or 2 roaches out to defend against any sort of Baneling attacks.
I hear the best thing against Baneling is Roach. Unless
Oh,
you
the
have,
best
like,
thing
50
against any
Banelings.
unit is what can't attack that unit, which makes the best unit Mutalisks or Broodlords.
Very true, very true. But, you know, it's weird that Herbmon decided to throw that down, like, right where the Zerglings are. That little bit of autopilot kind of tipped his hand greatly, and I'm kind of curious as to whether it's going to pay off. Herbmon getting his Evo chamber behind this.
Yep, and that lair coming down now for B-Lord. This is a fairly standard, or a fairly early lair rather. 6.5 minutes is incredibly early, so he's either going to be doing that for roach speed or some sort of fast mutaplay. I'm thinking it's going to be for roach speed, and he'll be going for a roach attack.
We'll have to see that. There's not enough really. There's not enough gas here for mutaplay or anything. So I think you're right on the roach speed. And third hatch
Yep,
is
so that
going
third
down.
base going down right now. The question is he going to drone that up when it finishes, or is he just going to be using it as a macro hatch?
Mm,
Third coming down earlier as well for Herbmon by a decent chunk of time, by about 30 seconds.
yeah, and he's getting his roach warren as well. So I mean, the baneling nest went down. I'm not certain whether that was like a fake or whether that was just okay. It's been scouted. This isn't going to work. Herbmon just now getting his layer hit down.
Yep, and a few Zerglings coming down right now for Herbmon. Plus one missile attacks starting for Blord, as well as Roach speed. So we may be seeing a Roach timing coming out of Blord.
Now, there's an interesting little thing here. Roach missile attacks are going to finish for Blord, and Herbmon's going to have what do you call it? Carapace. I wonder which of those would be the better option here.
They're basically going to cancel each other out. Now, if Blord decides he wants to send some Lings with that push, those Lings won't have any upgrades for the attack. So that would put Herb ahead.
Yeah, significantly. Plus, Herbmon also has link speed, whereas Blord does not. Blord getting actually burrow.
Yep, Burrow and 13 Roaches on the way. That's pretty standard for this push. You split the Roaches up a little bit, put some in the main, some in the natural, some in the third, and then as your opponent starts to get more units than you, you can just burrow them and start picking off workers here and there.
So no tunneling claws shenanigans.
Possibly.
Herbmon going for a bit of a run by, gonna pop back out there seeing the Roaches. And I think Herbmon's actually gonna go for the attack before Blord.
Yeah, that may be happening here. Just constant roach production for Blord, and he's moving out right now with these roaches.
Herbmon's got to be careful. He bails, but this Zergling run-by can actually do some damage. Getting a few drones, shutting down that third hard. But Blord's pushing, and he's going to be able to get these roaches. Roach speed not done yet for Herbmon. So a lot of these
only
roaches...
one worker killed right there. Blord with 29 roaches on the map, and Herb with only 9 roaches on the map. So unless Herb can get a ton more roaches out, this is going to be a very one-sided battle.
Yeah, he needs some Zerglings, or he needs something here. He's going to get some units, going to throw in some Banelings. Some Banelings doing a little work, softening up the Roaches a little bit. And
Roach Warren goes down for Herb right now before Roach Speed finishes. That may very well be game right there, because Herb cannot make any more Roaches. Going to have to rely on just Zerglings for the rest of this push. And Zerglings versus Roaches is not good. There's the GG from Herbman. Blord taking his second game.
Brutal, efficient, I like it. Even though he's not on my team.
And I will be right back real quick. I just have to do something.
We'll take a quick break right here while both teams